Before we begin today's episode of Time About the Movies, I want to give you an update on the problem I'm having with CyberLink Power Director. Now, if you remember last Thursday, I said at the end of that episode, it was either Thursday or Friday, that the videos were just taking way too long to produce, and I had no idea what was going on. And I think I have finally figured out what is going on here, and it's not very good news if you're expecting me to go on a regular schedule as I usually do. So I've been going online and seeing if I can figure out what is going on with this. Like, I don't know why my videos are very slow to produce, but today when I was looking and I saw something, and it kind of makes a whole lot of sense, because why is CyberLink Power Director slowing down? Well, let me just show you. CyberLink Power Director can slow down if you upload too many videos. And as you can see, I have uploaded a lot of videos as of late, specifically videos that I'm getting ready to have be out for Christmas in July, and then I also have the Siskel and Ebert tribute. I did the beginning of the first 5 minutes of that, and then of course the Time About the Movies Presents, along with the regular stuff I do here, Time About the Movies, and Time About the Movies Flashback, Movie Stop, talking about the movies. So, it has been a very busy couple of weeks, and because of that, that's the reason why all the videos are slowing down. I think it's specifically the Time About the Movies Presents episodes, because most of them are about 90 minutes long, between an hour and 90 minutes long, and those are the ones that take the longest. I mean, just today, the Best and Worst Movies of 2008 video I uploaded just in the last couple of minutes. It took 5 hours after getting it produced, and then having it go onto YouTube in about 5 hours, which is just like, that's way too long, especially considering that, it's usually is about a third of that. Like, it usually takes about maybe an hour, hour and a half at the most, normally, with those longer videos. And sometimes the shorter videos, are about an hour long. They usually are about as long as the videos are, but the last couple of days, it's been like over an hour or so, and I know this is probably going to take a while to get uploaded, but so I've made an executive decision on what I'm going to do about this, and it mostly revolves around the Time About the Movies Presents video, since those are the ones that are very much the longest ones on here. So I'm going to hold off on them for a little bit. I'm not going to stop making them anytime soon, and I hate doing this because I was this close to actually getting to the end of it and being right next to where the new episodes are, but unfortunately, the world has decided that I need to hold off on that. So I'm going to hold off for at least 1 week, maybe 2, depending on what goes on with the next couple of videos I post here. But Time About the Movies, Time About the Movies Flashback, the clipless versions on the Reviewing Network Live, as well as the regular videos I do, they will still go up as scheduled. And hopefully that will fix the problem. I'm also going to pause on the Christmas and July stuff for now. I'll wait until all the videos get uploaded on the specific dates, and then I'll start going back to making the regular videos again. So nothing really will change on the Time About the Movies episodes. They will come out as regularly scheduled, so you don't need to worry about that. So I just want to let you know that I think I have a reasoning for why the videos have been coming up very slow as of late. So hopefully this will fix the problem, and yeah, so we'll see what happens here. But with all that said, today on Time About the Movies, and I wanted to talk about this because movies this weekend are really not that special. It's pre-Labor Day weekend. It's the dumping month between late August and early September. It usually means that there's not going to be a whole lot of interesting movies this week, even though there's some ensembles here, and one ensemble in particular, Takers, with some people that I completely forgot were even in this movie, but also we have The Last Exorcism. So with all that said, I've already wasted 4 minutes of your time. Let's get to the show. This is Time About the Movies for August 27th, 2010.
They let you out early or what?
I guess you guys kind of lost track, huh?
It's the past. I'm here to discuss the future.
A once-in-a-lifetime job, 30 mil.
Why should we trust you?
Trust greed.
Bet big, win big. That's the only way to play.
On August 27th, he wants more than the money. Some plans.
Where's the C4? It's in the shed. It's in the shed.
To the shed you never see coming. Check him out.
Business is business. I never said we were friends.
Takers, rated PG-13.
A movie that I completely forgot about, that I had no idea that Paul Walker was in this movie, as well as Idris Elba. But welcome to Time About the Movies. Today we are taking a look at the two films that end August 2010, and that is our first movie, and that is Takers. And like I said, I completely forgot about this movie. I just knew that Zoe Saldana was in it, as well as Columbus Short. But not only do they have them in there, but you have a story. Well, the story here is that you follow a group of professional bank robbers who specialize in spectacular robberies. They are pulled into one last job by a recently paroled cohort, only to be pitted against a hardboiled detective and his partner who interrupts their heist. The film features Matt Dillon, Paul Walker, Idris Elba, Jay Hernandez, Michael Ealy, T.I., Chris Brown, Hayden Christensen, as the aforementioned Zoe Saldana, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Jonathan Sheck, Glenn Turman, Zule Heno, Nick Turturro. So there is a lot of notable names in this movie, and not only is it a reunion of Columbus Short and Zoe Saldana, but it's also a reunion of Zoe Saldana and Idris Elba, who were both in The Losers earlier this year, and just a bunch of people in here that should make for a good movie in general, but there's not a good movie here. I mean, it's a stylistic, cool-looking film in general, but the heist really isn't all that special or amazing. And the guy who's asking them to do this is going to go ahead and, double-cross them. And by the end, it's just like, what's the point? Like, what really is the point of watching this? Like, there's really nothing there. You expect all these names in here to have something there to give you to uplift the film a little bit here, but it really isn't there. And it's just kind of like nothing really interesting all that happens. Nothing really all that amazing happens in here. And would you expect anything less from the same man that gave us Texas Chainsaw 3D? This is that same director. He did some other movie, Lockdown, which I never even heard of. So that should pretty much tell you everything you need to know about this one. So, I mean, it was a hit. People went to go see it because I guess they were tired of the Expendables already. But I don't know, man. There was just nothing in here that made this work. So, yeah, a hard skip on Takers. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and move on to the second and the last film we have here today, and that is, of course, The Last Exorcism.
Nothing to be nervous about.
It's coming through my skin.
Let him calm down.
Oh my God. Do you hear that? What is she doing?
I don't know.
Demon, cast yourself out.
Oh my God.
In the name of Jesus Christ, I command thee to be gone!
The Last Exorcism, rated PG-13, in theaters everywhere, August 27th.
Clearly, this is going to be The Last Exorcism. There will be no more Exorcism movies coming out after this point forward. Yeah, they're completely effing with you. This is nowhere near The Last Exorcism. After years of performing exorcisms, a disillusioned evangelical minister decides to participate in a documentary chronicling his last exorcism while exposing the fraud of his ministry. After receiving a letter from a farmer asking for help in driving out the devil, he meets the farmer's afflicted daughter. And, of course, chaos and hilarity ensues. And by hilarity, some really freaky stuff. And I forgot to mention, this is a found-footage horror movie, too. So this is a found-footage film, coming right after Paranormal Activity, and the first of several found footage movies, because the people who are making these horror movies realize we can make a cheap ass movie and it will sell to people, and if we tell them, it's a found footage film. And sure enough, this thing didn't even have a $2 million budget, and it made over $70 million at the box office. So yeah, there you go, take that for what you will. But to its credit, though, this is actually not that bad of a movie. This actually is one of the better exorcism movies, because yeah, it doesn't fully deliver on that potential of its found footage premise, but what makes it work are the scares in here and the legitimately good exorcism elements to it. I mean, even something like The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Not a great movie overall, but when they had the exorcism parts in there, it was pretty cool to look at. And sometimes these movies can actually work on that front, but like the bad movies like The Exorcist Believer, and even the sequel, The Last Exorcism Part 2, or even the several that Russell Crowe has done since then. Literally, he's had 2 in the last 3 years, but they all share this kind of the same premise overall, and they just don't have the scare factors in there. This one, I think, actually does a pretty good job of handling that. You've got some pretty good actors who are very convincing in here. Patrick Fabian, Ashley Bell, you have Caleb Landry Jones in here as well. This is directed by Daniel Stamm, who I couldn't swear I've seen his name on some other stuff before. the last thing he did was Pray for the Devil, which is yet another Exorcist movie. I thought he did something else. He did the Scream TV series. He did Fear the Walking Dead. So he has done a couple of other things in particular. Not just movies about exorcisms in general, but overall, yeah, this is actually not a bad movie. Not a great movie. It certainly pales in comparison to the original Exorcist. I mean, that will still always be the bar to top, and you're never going to top that movie, no matter how hard you try. It's like American Werewolf in London. Like you can't top what you did with that movie. You can only try to update it with the best technology you can, instead of just stick with practical effects when it comes to the Wolfman movies, instead of just terrible CG. But here, for what they had to work with, the budget that they had to work with, they actually made a pretty decent film overall. I'm not going to say it's a great movie per se, but certainly is a lot better than some of the other found footage horror films we're going to get to later on down the road here. And Paranormal Activity 2 will surely help to elevate the numerous found footage films coming out here. And let me tell you, once you see the assortment of bad ones we're going to get to next, you'll be glad that this movie came out, because this is probably one of the better found footage movies you can find out there. So take that for what you will. So that is the Last Exorcism. And so with all that said, we wrap up this fairly quick episode of Time About the Movies. And like I said, it was not a busy week for movies in general. We're in the doldrums of the dumping month. So the next couple of weeks will not include a lot of great movies in general. But actually, I take that back with some of the movies we have next week for Labor Day weekend. We actually do have a couple of movies in here that I do actually kind of enjoy. George Clooney starring in The American. The Grindhouse spinoff, Machete, starring Danny Trejo. The character from the trailers in that movie get their own movie in this film. But we also have Drew Barrymore and I believe Justin Long? Yeah, Drew Barrymore and Justin Long in Going the Distance, which also features Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So we'll take a look at those three movies. That'll be coming up tomorrow on the show. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button. And also don't forget to hit our playlist, as well as check out the last episode we did. And like I said, we'll see how this works out with the editing here. If it's been like this, if it's been like the way it's been the last couple of days, you probably won't see this until after midnight on July 3rd. I'm recording this right now at the time right here. The time, 11:14 p.m. on July 2nd. Focus, damn it. There you go. So we will see what happens there. If you don't see this within the next half an hour, yeah, you know that there's still some problems here. But like I said, I'm going to try to limit the number of videos here, but the regular shows on here will not be altered here. So we'll see how this works out. So with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. So until then, take care.